Okay, this is gonna be our first video. I'm gonna make a new channel to put this up. Because I want to start doing movie reviews more often, Shelly. I do.
Okay, that's fine.
Saw Deadpool.
What, 2 days ago?
Yeah, no.
No, that was yesterday.
It's fucking yesterday.
My bad.
I waited 4 years for that movie, Shelly. I found out in 9th grade when I was first becoming a little piece of shit stay-at-home nerd. You know, sitting around at my computer, oh my god, fucking, I love video games! Oh! Anyway.
And I knew nothing about who Deadpool was or anything until I moved in like 5 months ago. I knew jack shit.
So going into the
I didn't even know who he was.
Going into the movie, did you know anything about his backstory?
I knew bits and pieces, but that was only from what you told me about the comics.
Because I am gay AF. IRL, 420 blaze it. You're pissed off. I actually had to write down a guide because I had so much to say as soon as we got home. And I was pissed off a little bit because it took so long to get home. So I probably missed a few details, but I'm
sure we'll talk about it anyway.
Did you have any, like, issues with the movie?
I didn't know who any of the characters were. I didn't know who anybody was.
I'm gonna get to that.
Like, I didn't know who anybody was, what their purpose was. I didn't know anything about the movie. I knew zip.
Oh, good. Because
that was the only problem I had.
I only have five. Please allow me to talk. Reprogramming. I had 5 bad points about the movie, and that was that as a queer person, there was just so much heteromance, which is what I call heterosexual romance, trademark. Which, by the way, I don't have an issue with as long as they balance it out. But like.
Especially
you know what? Never mind. Scratch that off the list, because I'm going to get to that later, because that falls in with the story. Whatever. The sex scene lasted for fucking ever, and it was nasty.
Yeah, it was kind of nasty.
Pegging? I don't care. The Thanksgiving thing? Nasty!
That was pretty gross. That was
grossed out.
I'm not going to kiss you if you have food in your mouth. I'm sorry. That's... No. I'm just saying. Ugh. That was so good. What? We can't decide whether or not that was rice or whipped cream.
I think it was rice.
I think it was whipped cream.
I was wearing my glasses, so.
Because that's kind of a thing that people do during sex, you know, with the whipped cream. I'm just saying.
What's more, the pegging scene, I think I had canon Deadpool as being a bottom or a sub and liking it in the booty hole, but like, that's just me.
Well, they probably just did that for humor.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, because Deadpool is supposed to be pansexual.
Yeah, he is. Well, yeah, and they stated that pretty well in the movie, and they're gonna do it even more in the second movie, I hope!
Well, they have to. It's part of Deadpool's character.
It is part of Deadpool's character. But, you know, fuckboy pandering.
Well, if the same people do it, then they'll probably do it.
I hope so. Well, I mean, they have high hopes for, like, stating it outright in the second movie, because... You know,
plus they're probably trying to break it gently to everybody else because it's not completely widely accepted yet.
Yeah. Some jokes fell flat for me.
I didn't think so. I thought they were pretty funny.
I think some jokes fell flat, like the brown pants joke. I didn't think was very funny.
I thought it was funny.
By the way, if you don't already know, this review's full of spoilers. If you haven't seen it, you're so amazed.
And apparently there were a lot of inside jokes that I didn't get because I know nothing about any of this stuff.
I know so much about Deadpool because I am a creep. I'm a creep. Nobody actually likes that song, do they?
I mean, it was pretty easy to follow even for someone like me, though. So.
I'm tired of the chimichanga joke because I don't know if you guys know this, but Deadpool doesn't actually like chimichangas. He just likes the word. He prefers enchiladas.
That's weird.
Yes. I might have some, like, controversial statements that I want to say. Like, the pansexuality was good. I want more of that. I appreciated the flirting. The unicorn thing.
That was weird. That was weird as shit.
Unicorn thing?
Yeah, I didn't understand it.
I'm choosing to accept that as a euphemism for the fact that he is not straight.
It might have been, because
like,
you could have done without the scene and it still would have made sense, but they were probably just trying to get the point across.
I appreciated it. I appreciate any fapping scene in a movie.
That's not what I was going for, but okay.
That's what I was going for. Anyway.
I think they, like I said, I think they were just saying that because it helped explain, his character, who he is.
There was one transphobic joke that I didn't appreciate, which was whenever they talked about, the female villain character, Angel, she's really strong, so they were like, I'm calling Wang. If you don't know, Wang means penis. Shelly didn't know.
I didn't know that.
But,
because I don't spend as much time on the internet.
I didn't really appreciate that as a trans individual, but you know what? Deadpool as a character grows from that. I know he started out as a very ignorant character.
His face wasn't as bad as I had expected it to be.
His face was a good in-between on how people have drawn him in the comics, because some people draw him incredibly grotesque, and then some people draw him with, like, scars. And the way that they did it, I think, was very good.
I expected it to be worse, but it wasn't. So I was kind of surprised.
Like some comic artists draw it with like his inside showing or like an eyeball popping out or whatever, and then
that's not what I expected. I expected like more scarring and more, but it was alright.
Some people draw him like a nose, nose fell off, but it doesn't really matter because I think the way they did it in the movie was phenomenal. I loved that as the little queer gay man.
His hand.
Let's talk about that real quick. In one scene, he chops his hand off, and it grows back into a little tiny baby hand. Yeah. And he's talking about how I bet my dick will feel huge in this. It was a good joke.
It was. Oh my gosh! It was. It was definitely different. I'll give it that.
Good points about the movie. I have way more good points than I have bad points, especially as a longtime fan of Deadpool who doesn't really give in to the whole "this character is just a meme" thing. Characters. All of the characters were likable. In some way.
I can agree with that, yeah.
I couldn't find one unlikable character. Even the villain was like...
They did a good job.
It was a good villain, even if it was inaccurate to the comics, but the way they did it helps establish his story in the movie universe.
Except there was one thing I didn't like about the female villain. She used the fact that she was a girl to take advantage of... What was his name?
Colossus. We will talk about that.
I didn't like that.
By the way, Colossus is bae. Colossus was so important. He was a good character.
He's a big guy.
They had a metal dick joke, and I was like, oh.
That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny.
Like, I was sitting there in the theater like, I want this metal man's metal meat. Sorry, is that too straightforward? Anyway, Negasonic Teenage Warhead was a good character because, just the way they wrote her was likable.
Yeah.
I feel like the movies would benefit from more teenage characters because teenagers are so versatile. You have an incredibly straight moral compass. I have a shitty, skewed moral compass. We're very different, but we're still best friends.
I grew up with a different background than you did, so there's no worries for that, though.
Yeah, well. They also introduced a lot of important but obscure general public... They introduced a lot of obscure but important characters to the general public that people may have not known about going in. Like Vanessa, the main
love interest. Love interest.
In the movie. She was actually Copycat in the original comic. She was a mutant with like the same powers as Mystique. And it was all very clandestine, secret, and very nice. And the story of how they got together was different too. But the way they did it in the movie was good.
Yeah, it made sense.
They also introduced Blind Al, which is a very important character to me.
Best character, I'm just saying.
Blind Al?
Yes.
I didn't know you liked her that much.
I do. She was good.
She was, I loved her. In the comic book, she actually gets kidnapped by Deadpool and held hostage. But, like, that was back whenever Deadpool was supposed to be dark, edgy, and more of a bad guy, because he was made to be a bad guy. But people were like, oh, fuck, I want Deadpool to be a good guy, and I was like, okay. And, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, you know I've said this, but I thought that Deadpool's babbling was going to get on my last nerve, but it actually didn't. It was pretty funny. It was pretty legit. But I thought it was going to be annoying as shit.
Yeah.
Because he talks as much as I do. And just,
Weasel was an important character to me because Weasel is very important to its backstory. And the fact that they introduced him made me all
He was pretty cool. I liked his personality.
He was a better character in the movie than he was in the comics, I think.
Well, he was cool. I liked his personality. I liked the way they portrayed him.
I just realized I said that line really quietly.
It's fine.
We do not have a script, in case you're wondering. These are the movie notes. Yes, I have to justify that. The absence of Killebrew. In the comics, Killebrew was originally the one that gave Deadpool these crazy, like, powers. But, and his helper was Ajax.
Yeah.
Going by a different name. I don't remember which one.
Francis?
But, no.
Oh.
A different A name.
Oh.
But, the fact that they made Ajax the main villain works pretty well.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting.
And I do not object to Angel being the new sidekick character for the villain because she did really well.
She was good.
She was a good villain.
She was a good character and she was a good villain, but I didn't like her. But she was a villain, so you're probably not supposed to.
Yeah, that's the point. If you don't like a villain because they're bad, they're probably a good villain. Saw Deadpool naked. Saw Deadpool penis to Ashton. Good stuff, bae. Girl,
I don't remember it.
Girl, I know you didn't see it, but bae, I promise you, every time Deadpool was naked, I was paying super close attention. I was leaning on my seat. You could see it.
I guess it was something you would have had to been looking for, because I don't remember that.
Believe me when I say I was looking for it. Chronology of the movie. It wasn't, the way that Deadpool's relationships are going are pretty much in chronological order as far as like Vanessa goes, and having Blind Al and Weasel there.
Yeah.
However, one of the opening scenes that introduces him as a merc, the scene with pizza, where he orders the pizza, and everybody's like, and he breaks into this guy's house, and he scares the living daylights out of this little stalker kid. In the original scene, he breaks into the house, orders the pizza, talks about burnt crust, and kills the pizza guy, because he ruined this girl's life, instead of just being a stalker. Whatever. I guess they got rid of that because it falls into a fight with Bullseye. Bullseye dressed as Hawkeye.
Apparently they didn't have the budget for it because they made a joke out of that, too.
In, like, issue 10 of some series, Bullseye, Part 1, The Shaft, something like that. Just look it up. Deadpool was in character. This was very important because I got super pissed off about the game whenever they made the Deadpool game and they made him this misogynistic ass motherfucker. Because originally he's not very misogynistic. He's actually very equalist.
Well, yeah, he's pansexual.
Okay, well, sexuality has nothing to do with misogyny. We're not going to get into this right now.
A little bit.
We're not going to get into this right now. That was important to me. As someone who's very serious about Deadpool's character, I'm using a lot of hand emotions. I understand it can get distracting. This was good to me. The character, the writing.
He was funny. He was really funny.
In the post-credits, if you stay after the credits, I was telling people around us, like, you can't leave yet! I've seen all the things! There's gonna be stuff after this!
You weren't telling people specifically, you just kind of yelled it out.
Yeah, passion. Bum, 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 bum. And then we stayed, and we got a little tidbit that Cable was going to be in the next movie, which is good for me, because I love Cable. He's an asshole, but he's a good character, and I like him, and I want to see him. Specifically, I want to see him and Deadpool together. Just kidding.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
There are some hopes that I have for the sequel that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Because I'm petty. I'm a petty motherfucker. I hope that they have the accuracy of Deadpool's relationships. Like, Vanessa leaves because she just can't deal with Deadpool, and the fact that he's going crazy or something like that. And then Siren/Cable show up and become Deadpool's new romantic interest. Siren first, but I feel like maybe they should skip that part of his story because Siren being a love interest didn't really happen because she never returned his feelings.
Yeah, they probably won't do that.
Because then it's just a total waste of time. It's a movie like you're going in there like, oh yeah, my main boy's gonna have a relationship. And the girl at the end's like, yeah, I don't like you. Except imagine her saying that in an Irish accent. And, yeah, I can't do an Irish accent. It would be a waste of everybody's time. So I feel like they should skip right to the Cable thing. Which is still ongoing, by the way. It's just that there's been stuff in between. Temporarily.
They were married?
They considered themselves married.
So it wasn't legal?
No.
Okay.
I want to see Deadpool visibly connect with Cable. Like, like they pal around, them being buds. Because a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, we gotta have Cable jump in and punch him in the face, and then they're gonna be friends. I'm like, we gotta talk it out first. We wouldn't have become best friends if I had just punched you in the face, Shelley.
Well, never mind. I'm not going to bring that up.
Yeah, don't you? I feel like they should also talk about his, they should also somehow bring in his affiliation with Death, the entity, because originally in his, comic book persona, I realized that the movie world and the comic world are two separate things. But, if they want to go for, like, accuracy, they should, talk about how he had a thing for the personification of death.
Well, also remember that, they have to make it
accessible to general viewers.
Well, yeah, like people like me. They have to make it make sense to people like me.
Newcomers.
Who have no idea what's going on.
Newcomers. Noobs. Just newcomers. Nobody says noobs.
They do online.
I kind of want people... I want Deadpool to be visibly omni/pansexual. I don't care which term you prefer. I just know that if you use the term pansexual, people are going to be like, oh, does that mean you have sex with pans?
Or Peter Pan.
Yes, Peter Pan. All up in that boy poo-tang.
I used to have a crush on Peter Pan.
Good for you. But I feel like it'd be very important for Deadpool to flat out straight say, like, yeah, sometimes I'm attracted to dudes. What of it?
Well, it's not as fun if he straight up says it.
It's more validating, though.
Well, yeah, but it's not as fun.
It's validating. For me.
You can just have sex with the guy.
Okay, yeah.
That's validating.
I'll go with that, too. If he has sex with a guy, if he gets a boyfriend or something, that's also validating. That's good. Shelley, you're a genius. Less fuckboy pandering. Do I have to explain what that means?
Probably.
There wasn't much in the movie anyway, except for the stupid chimichanga quote, which I'm sick and tired of.
And Ashton had to explain that to me.
But I understand the need to appeal to the fuckboys, so they will go and see it, and enjoy it, and give you their money. But, yeah, that's why I'm saying that the fuckboy pandering thing, what I just said, you can scrap that, you need the money, because, holy shit! If you keep giving them your money, then they'll make more, and we'll see Deadpool 2, and 3, and maybe 4. You know what? I want it to go on forever. I want it to be like an everlasting series. I want it to be as long as the anime series Bleach. I don't like Bleach, but it's long, it's good, because it's long, and it's strong, and it's down to get the friction on, so ladies, yeah! Sorry.
Stop it.
Sorry, I know, that's embarrassing, isn't it?
No.
I have wishful thinking for Deadpool 2.
Of course you do.
This is my wishful thinking segment where I talk about what I would like to see if I could control the outcome of the world.
Not gonna happen.
I would like to see Deadpool get a boyfriend, which Ryan Reynolds has mentioned wanting to see also.
Oh, that reminds me. The ending credits were really funny.
He jacked off a unicorn's horn.
And he was talking about how all of the guys, or all of the names that popped up, they're like, he's hot, she's hot, he's hottest. That was funny.
That was good. It was also validating. More Deadpool nudity for me, because I'm a boy slut.
That's nasty.
Yeah, I'm nasty.
I don't want to see anybody naked, I'm just saying.
I am a filthy sinner. There is a special place in hell for me. I'm already aware of this, and you don't need to tell me.
I didn't tell you that.
You don't need to tell me. More action. The action scenes were so good.
The action scenes were pretty good.
I feel like not enough people talk about how good the action scenes were, because they were freaking phenomenal-tastic.
Yeah, they were really good.
I love good action scenes.
Because they did a really good job of combining action and comedy in, like, the same scenes. That was good.
But I feel like they could have benefited from having more of it. But I understand it being the first movie, and they need a lot of story going into it, especially to start a series. But in the second movie, I want more action.
Yeah, but see, if you have more action and most of the movie is action, you're gonna lose a lot of viewers.
No, I mean, like, they could have benefited from, like, 5 minutes more of action.
Because, like, in a lot of the Avengers movies, not that they weren't good, but they're, like, pretty much the entire movies were action, and it gets kind of boring because there's no story.
I would love for it to have a Wolverine cameo.
He made a Wolverine joke! Sorry.
That's gonna show up on the audio, you slut.
I'm just saying.
It's gonna show up on the audio, goddamn. It's gotta pass smooth criminals down under. Good. Rhymes with Wolverine. I would like for all of the movies to be rated R, because...
Well, they have to be. It's Deadpool.
Yeah, well, we're old enough to get in, but, like... Well, no, it doesn't have to be, because there was a petition going around that was bullshit, that was like, you need to bring the Deadpool movies down to PG-13, so I, an 8-year-old, can see it, and I was like...
Well, it can't. In order for it to be legit, though, it has to be rated R.
Yeah, because
and if you want your kid to see it, then it's still going to be around and probably popular a few years from now when your kid is old enough to go see it.
Not to mention, you can still take your kid to go see it. I don't care if you want to introduce your kid to sexuality, not as in like the concept of sexuality.
Yeah, not the actual sex action.
I would have understood if it was gore. I have a problem with bringing your kids to see gore.
Because that's much different. Sorry.
It is, to me. Because yeah.
Well, there was a full-blown sex scene.
Yeah. That bothered me. I don't know. If you want to take your kids to see it, that's on you. However your kids turn out, whatever. But yeah.
But don't complain about it when you see the sex scene and all the cussing and stuff, because it is rated R.
Oh, God. And, I want a good series to go to great within the second movie, because I think they can do it. I have so much faith! Also, Deadpool, touch a penis, babe. I believe in you.
I felt weird laughing at some of the things that I did, because Ashton's parents were with us, and they were
our guardians.
They were bad jokes. They weren't bad as in, like, they weren't funny, but they were inappropriate.
We're seniors in high school. She's 18, I'm 17. We're basically adults. Don't worry about it. Good effects. The movie had amazing effects.
Yeah, they had good graphics and stuff. That was good.
The way that the face moved, the way that the mask moved, looked
very
natural.
I appreciated that.
It looked like there was a face moving under the mask, and the way that the eyes worked.
I appreciated that.
I didn't have a lot of hope whenever the original, previews came out, and he looked very animated. I didn't really like that, but the way that they did it in the end was so good.
Yeah, they did a really good job on
I
it.
jizzed in my pants a little bit. The CGI.
Yeah, and grabbed my shirt every single time a new character came on.
I'd be like, Shelly, it's Bob! Shelly, it's Bob!
And then I had to pull my shirt back up because it was coming off.
I'm not a good person to see movies with.
And then I had to eat all the popcorn because you were so intent on the movie.
I was leaning forward in my seat like this, just looking at it, just like... I was very excited. The costume was really well done. Like, the way that they progressed through the way the costume was made. Because a lot of people, especially cosplayers, have a lot of different ideas of what the costume is made of and what the material's like.
Yeah.
And the color, and the way it all fits together. And the way that they did it was very professional and amazing and well done. And it really looked like a real superhero. Which he is a real superhero.
I liked how they showed that he put some thought into his his costume because it started off as something really lame and it just looked terrible.
It started off as just like a cloth ski mask and a sweatshirt
and some sunglasses.
Yeah,
and it was white, which was probably the worst thing you could have done.
Use lemon and Alka-Seltzer to get out blood, or just wear red.
But I'm glad that they didn't just automatically say, "Hey, this guy knows exactly what he's gonna do." You know, they showed that he put some thought into it.
He's not a seamstress. Again, the action was really good. Also, the CGI on Colossus was amazing. The way that the light worked.
Yeah.
And the fact that he just looked bigger than everybody else. And the way that they made the Metal Man's face move, phenomenal. I loved Colossus. We need more of him.
The fight scene between Colossus and Angel was really good too. I appreciated that.
So good. At one point, this is already full of spoilers. Angel's titty pops out. You don't see it, okay? But Colossus is fighting with her, and he's like, on the left, put your titty back, put your titty back.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, that's so sweet. And then she punches him in the dick.
That's what I was saying earlier, where she took advantage of the fact that she was female. Which I didn't appreciate.
She took advantage
of
of
being
Colossus's
female.
Politeness.
Because that was a dick move on her part. I'm just saying. I didn't like it.
Good villain. Story introduction. The way that they fleshed out the movie is just a good way to introduce the story. And I know I'm probably repeating myself a whole lot. But it needs to be said. That the way they did it was just phenomenal. Is it a perfect movie by any standards? No. Is it a great movie? Yeah, to me.
Well, I appreciated it coming from a standpoint of, again, somebody who has absolutely no idea what's going on.
And I don't think you even generally like superhero movies, do you?
It depends.
But,
if it has some story behind it, then yeah. But
it was a good change from the regular superhero formula.
It was.
Oh my god, we gotta stop this guy and save the world because of this thing. Millions of lives are at stake. But it was just one guy being like, dude fucked up my face, took my fiancé, I'm gonna fuck him in the ass. Metaphorically, with a sword. Through the chest.
They did a good background, too. They gave a lot of good background information.
The way that they did the flashbacks and the sequences, I feel like could have been done better, but I don't know how. I don't know. I think they did a good job. It's like a gut feeling. It's like I got a rat in my guts.
I don't know. I think they did a good job. It kind of jumps around a little bit, but it's really easy to follow.
The way they did it made it easy to follow, which is the important part.
And they did it in an interesting way too. So it was pretty good.
And considering I waited 4 years for this movie and was waiting for all the hype, I looked at all of the trailers, I read every bit of news I could get. I was not disappointed. For real.
Well, like I said, I went into it thinking that it was going to be really annoying because he talked a lot, but
done for that.
It was good.
Basically, gets the dream come true, seal of approval.
Okay, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it? Because I'd say it was about an 8, but that was mostly because I didn't know what was going on.
I'd put it at a 9. And I'm putting it at a 9, pushing to a 9.5, because I left that movie having high hopes for the second one.
Yeah. Because
the way the team did it, I feel like they're one of the teams that could have a sequel that's even better than the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
Which is rare, but I believe in them with all of my little gay heart. Yeah. That's the end of the review, though. Do you have any closing statements?
No, not that I can think of. But, any comments, whatever, just tell us. Questions, whatever.
Radical. This is the first video I'll be posting on this channel. I have no idea how YouTube works. I'm gonna figure it out.
Don't ask me, I don't know either.
I have a blog that you can follow. It's Tumblr. Yeah, okay. I'm disgusting little SJW. Go ahead, flame me in the comments. I would love it. Roast me, motherfucker. If you guys want the link to that, I'll give it out. Whatever. That's the end of this video.